And yeah, I have it. No surprises. But let's talk about the testing. The first step in what to expect is the letter. So I'm going to read that to you now. Dear Max Fisher, here are the details of your appointment at this hospital. Gave me the details of the hospital, the wing, the date, the time. We are following strict social distancing where possible and ask you to do the same. This guidance is provided to maintain patient and staff safety in our hospitals. Please do not attend if you have fever, temperature, dry cough or sudden loss of smell or taste. Hand gel, masks, attend alone, what to do if you're a minor, and don't arrive too early, basically. I'm not going to read out the entire COVID instructions because we all know them by now, and they vary from hospital to hospital. If you need to cancel or change your appointment, here are the details. Here's how to get here. If you have a medical condition that prevents you from using public or private transport, please ring the following non-emergency transport providers as soon as possible and they will discuss the eligibility criteria with you. When you come to your appointment, please bring this letter, a list of your medications including how much you take and how often, glasses or hearing aids that you use, your up-to-date mobile phone number if you wish to receive text message reminders in the future. Fairly basic stuff. Special instructions. It's very important that you read the instructions below/over leaf as they relate to your appointment on this date at this time. So this is very clearly a template letter and I'm only going to read out the stuff that they highlighted because the stuff that they didn't highlight is not relevant to me or my appointment. It's important that you attend promptly for your appointment as it may not be possible for you to be seen if you arrive more than 20 minutes late. If you have been sent questionnaires with this appointment letter, please complete these before you attend and bring them with you. DQ/OA/DA appointment. This appointment may take up to 1 hour. And that's it. That's all that was in the letter that was applicable to me. They also had information for a VA appointment and a VM appointment, but I don't actually know what those are, and nor do I know what DQ, OA or DA means. And then important information for your audiology appointment, which is just more COVID instructions. And bring the letter with you, which I did not, because not once have they ever asked me for it. Something else I just want to mention that really happened and confused me a lot is my audiology clinic kept texting me to tell me that I had an appointment with them at the same date and time as the APD appointment, which was not true. They kept telling me to go to a different hospital, but I knew not to. So if they do that to you, definitely phone and check if you're not sure, or email and check. Weirdly, audiology doesn't really do email, they just want you to call them. Contact them however they will allow you to do. Just check because it can be confusing, and I was confused, but I just went on what the letter said because that's what I was told to expect. So what actually happened in the testing? That's the juicy part. Nobody really cares about the letter. So I went. It was with ear, nose and throat. It was basically a listening test to see how I process the sound that I get given. So they took me into the room, a nice soundproof room, and one of the technicians in there was the guy that I had my original hearing test with, which was really helpful, and it was nice to see a familiar face even though I could only see like this much of the familiar face. It was great nonetheless because he was very nice the first time and he was very nice this time, and we just sort of chatted about why am I here, what sort of problems am I having, how do I feel my hearing aids are benefiting me, sort of lifestyle questions and just things about like my hearing and what do I think is going on, which I also think is very helpful to talk about. So I just had how like, yeah, I hear, this is what I struggle to hear. I don't really hear my S sounds as much and my hearing aids give me those S sounds, but I really struggle when there's more than one person talking or when there's a lot of background noise that is speech, and if there is just like a group of people and I'm trying to talk to them. So like at drag shows I hear virtually nothing and I'm solely reliant on lip reading. But then I also had to bring up the fact that I have visual snow syndrome, so I don't always have the visual side of things, so sometimes I can't lip read at all, sometimes I can't see anything at all if the lighting is completely wrong. Signing can be difficult for me to follow if there is blurring of the hands, things like that. And then we started with the test. We actually got on with the test at some point. We talked a lot because I talk a lot. But the test, so they put on headphones, like over the ear headphones, hearing aids out of course, headphones on, and they played me 4 tracks to listen to. And what they're looking for is how I pick out specific phrases over more talking. The first test was 2 voices at the side, different to the voice that I needed to pick out. So the voice I needed to pick out was, there was a beep and then they would say the sentence and I repeat the sentence back to them. And the sentence is played over other sentences that are going on. So the sentences that are going on kind of make sense, but they're also nonsense. So like they're not, it's like the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog, the lazy lizard, da 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 da. It's like not, they're nonsensical really, but they kind of do make sense to not be too much of a distraction. And then the beep sentences was like, the man fell over, the girl went to the beach, things like that. So beep, repeat, beep, repeat. So the second test was the same as that, but the voices at the side were the same voice as what I needed to repeat. And I mean, it was like the same pitch, the same frequency, they were just saying different things at the same time as the beep being said. I don't know how well I'm explaining this. The technicians did it much better. So then the third test was they play all the voices from the front of you. The nonsense voices are 2 different voices, they are different pitches, and then you've got the little beep that was just the normal voice that's been the same for the past 2. And then the last test is they play all the voices from the front and it is the same person speaking. That's probably a better way to describe it. So different people speaking, same people speaking, different people speaking, same people speaking. And you just have to repeat the phrase that comes after the beep. Which I did, and each one lasted for about 5 minutes a piece. My appointment did not last an hour, I don't think. It was a struggle because I find listening to be difficult, and because I didn't have my hearing aids in, I didn't have a lot of the sounds that I'm used to being given, and oh, I struggled. So the pass rate is they're looking for you to hear 50% or more. I did not hear 50% or more. I don't know my exact percentage, they didn't tell me, but they did say, yeah, you struggle. And then we talked about how I performed in each of the different tests. So I process the sound a lot better when the background noise or the stuff I'm trying to filter out is to the side of the one I'm trying to focus on. So when all of the voices were at the front, whether they were the same voice or different, I did worse. And then I did even worse when it was all the same voice. And we discussed how this might impact my hearing and processing in real life situations. So what I normally do is, if I'm in a group situation, I will sit at the end of a table or the head of the table so that everything is in front of me, so I can lip read everybody and I can see everything that's going on. Turns out that's not really the most helpful thing I could be doing for myself. So one of the techs suggested that if I'm struggling to filter out noise, I should turn slightly, whether that's putting the voice of focus here or putting what I'm trying to focus out here. It doesn't really matter, that's for me to go away and practice. That should help me filter it out a little bit better, because we know that I struggle when it's all coming from the front, and I've been sitting myself where everything is coming from the front. Because I'm silly. No, I'm not. I didn't know any better. And that's why this test can be so important, because even if you don't have audio processing disorder, this test can still tell you more about your hearing and your processing. Like, even if you don't fit the benchmark for having audio processing disorder, it still might show that you function better when the noise is here rather than here, or vice versa, and they can still advise you to turn slightly if you are struggling. So yeah, I have audio processing disorder as well as being deaf. Awesome. That's fine. What are the next steps from here? Well, they're going to try to get me into the clinic to sort out my hearing aids so that we have a omnidirectional setting and a focus in setting. We're going to tinker with some of the settings on there because I haven't had different settings since I've had my ear molds, and the acoustics are different in each setting, so settings that I might not have had success with in the past with the domes, I might have success with the molds. More on that in the future because I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know. And I'm also going for an evoked potential hearing test where they see what my brain does to see whether I'm actually hearing the sound and my brain is just telling me that I'm not, or whether I'm actually not picking it up through my ears. Which is going to be fun. I've been told that basically they just put electrodes like on your head and then they play noise and you don't even have to press a button. So I think that's helpful. I think that was it, to be honest. It was a easy appointment. It was quite nice. I was quite anxious. I don't really know why, to be honest. But the people there were lovely and it was very straightforward. There was a lot of listening and I was quite tired afterwards, but it was not the end of the world. That's my audio processing disorder testing story. Very simple, and I hope that has helped. If it has, don't forget to like this video. Drop a comment down below if I missed anything or there's anything you want to know. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and ring that notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a new video. Videos go up every Saturday at 6 PM UK time with at least one bonus video every single month. See ya!